gonna stink sometimes. It is what it is.
And you're gonna still eat this motherfucker too.
Halo, 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 halo. Yours truly, Diva Lyri, in the house. Yours truly, Diva Lyri, in the house. We are here on this January 30th, 2023. January 30th, 2023, open session. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, with the UNA University and UNARepublic, TikTok, YouTube. I don't even know if I'm live on YouTube, but I'm going to shout YouTube out anyway, because at some point y'all will see this on YouTube. Let's see, where am I? Let me see if I can tune in and see if we're actually live on YouTube. I want to welcome everybody today. Once again, I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, with UNARepublic and UNA University. Let's see who we got in the house. Kiko, and I'm still trying to see if I am live on YouTube. I am. Yes, I am. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so now what we're talking about today, I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to go into the administrative process, and I hope that somebody finds this information to your satisfaction. Now, Kiko, welcome. Paula, Tina, and everybody else, and thank you all for joining me in YouTube land. So, what am I talking about today? The administrative process. All right, so let's get on it. With what is, first of all, the administrative process? The administrative process is where you are actually suing someone. This is a lawsuit. Now, I go into this with my with my chart, because y'all know the hierarchy of law chart. Y'all go and download it. Okay, hierarchy of law chart from UNA unarepublic.com/docs. You can find that link in the bio. So now, with the administrative process, this is an actual lawsuit on the private side. Okay, on the private side. Now, one of the things we want to recognize is this is a true court, because a lot of people think a court is something where you walk into it physically. But no, the court is on your paper, your documents. Okay, what's a court? Okay, this paper right here, this is a court. This is it. A court. Why? Because it's got four corners on it. It's got four corners. That makes it a court. It has a set of laws. When you're writing in here, this has a set of laws. This is a court. And people need to recognize that, yeah, this is on some paper that you write. But this court is higher by law. This court is higher than the physical court that you actually walk into. That's a higher court. So this is why it's important that we want to make sure we recognize the power of the pen. When people are telling you the pen is mightier than the sword, that's because these courts are very powerful. So we're going to go through it today on what the administrative process is. This is a true court, and your court stands higher than the court that you walk into that has a judge. That's how powerful you are. All right, so now getting into this, the administrative process, once again, this is a lawsuit. Now, I spoke about this before, where I let you know that you have lawsuits coming at you every day. When your mortgage company is writing you, well, Miss Jackson, you know, you're late on your mortgage. That's a lawsuit. The card company, water bill, light bill, gas bill, all these people, they're sending you lawsuits. They're saying, Miss Jackson, you owe us money. And that's a lawsuit. All right. So now, in recognizing that, you have the same power. You have the same power, if not more, because when these people are writing you, they are actually suing you for the opportunity to take away your rights. And when you don't answer, you're agreeing to this lawsuit. All right. So now let's get back into it, the administrative process, because we're going to start creating our own courts and writing our own powerful courts on the private side. Okay. Now, when I talk about private, let me go ahead and put this in here. There is a public side. The public side is what you see when you walk into a physical court. Now, let's make it clear. That is a lower court. And the only reason why we go into that lower court is so that we can now call on the military to protect our rights. Who's the military? Well, that would be the sheriff, the postmaster, the attorney general, all of these federal agents that take oaths. Those are the military. Okay. So now let's recognize what's going on with the administrative process. There are 4 steps that I go through when we're doing an administrative process. All right. The first step is where I have my initial contract. Who is this that I'm suing? And actually, we're going to have a contract writing seminar where we show you how to write contracts. But who is it I'm suing? That's my initial contract, why I'm suing them as well. What I'm suing them for. What's the issue? And what do they need to do in order to resolve the issue with me? So I'm going to give you an example. If it's a mortgage, for example, and I'm making it clear that there's fraud, well, I'm suing the owner of the company. Why don't we sue the company itself? Well, because the company is a dead entity. It really doesn't have any money. It doesn't control anything. We're suing the being or the person who's at the head of the company, and as they're in their private capacity. So we're going to sue the company because they're doing business as whatever the name. I'm going to give you an example. Mr. Cooper, for example. That's a mortgage company. and Mr. Cooper is doing business, and there's the owner. So we're suing the owner doing business as Mr. Cooper. All right. So, and we're putting their address there, the headquarters, the address. All right. So when we're sending this document off, there are three things that you need to have in place when you're starting your initial contract. We're always going to have three witnesses. Why three witnesses? Because once again, remember, this is a court. And as a court, when you have a certain number of witnesses, then that's all you need to make a statement about a true law. Going back to this, I told you this is the court. As soon as you start writing on it, you're creating laws, and they're very much valid. You're creating laws. So when I'm writing to the mortgage company, my law is telling them what the issue is. My law is telling them how long they have to answer. My law is telling them what they need to do to resolve the issue. Okay, so getting back to this mortgage company that we're suing, for example, what we're saying to them is, hey, Mr. Cooper, you have sent a message to us saying that I owe you, or it's to me saying that I owe you this debt. I need for you to show proof that there is a debt. And you have 10 days to show proof that there is a debt. And if you do not show proof that there is a debt with certain Internal Revenue Service documents that I'm going to request, then you cannot show proof of a debt. And then I'm going to request that you remove this charge from my estate and cease and desist from posting any kind of notices on my credit report. Yes, Kiko, you write to your car insurance company. Same thing for all of these different companies. So now, on this document that I create, okay, on this document that I'm creating, there's three witnesses. The first witness is the United States Postal Service, and I'm using registered mail labels to do this, all right? So those of us who know about contract writing, those of us who are in the university, we keep a set of these. We keep a set of these registered mail labels. Why? Because we become postmasters. All right? We keep a set of those. And when we send these documents off, we use our registered mail labels, and we make notes of the registered mail labels that we're using. All right? So we have these registered mail labels, and we're using the post office as witness number one. Kiko says, can I write to the insurance company, car insurance company? Yes, you can. Any of these companies that are so-called charging you. I'm going to get into the fraud in a few minutes about what's really going on. All right. So, at any rate, the initial document, the first witness is the post office. Second witness is your agent, somebody who doesn't live with you. All right. You want somebody who doesn't live with you, who has a different address, or who has a different address, even if they live with you and maybe they have a different post office address. That's fine. All right. But you want a different address from your home address. All right. The third witness is your notary. Okay. A notary is good because it is a public or a witness for the state, a state witness, or a county witness. I should say a county witness, because notaries are deputized by the county. And y'all remember, on the private side, the county is the highest authoring agency. And see, a lot of people don't remember or recognize that notaries have more power than a judge. I'm going to say this again. Judges don't even like to admit this or recognize this, but a notary has more power than a judge. A notary can marry people. Notaries have true high authority, and again, they are deputized by the county. They're deputized by the county, and the county is the highest authoring agency on land on the private side. And remember, this is a private document, a private court case. So this is why, yeah, a notary is good. Now, two other witnesses also equate to a notary as well. And you can use either one. It's just good to have a notary because it's a witness coming from their side, from the court, the county. So that's why it's good to have a notary. I want to thank everybody for joining. Kel, for following the host, Just, NBA, Wireman. Thank you. No one taught me this. Hey, no one taught me this. I hope you're doing well today. Milton, Laurie, thank you. All right, so now continuing on, we've got our three witnesses. We've got our United States Post Office. And please remember, the United States Post Office is on the federal side. And when we use these labels, all right, these are registered mail labels, not to be confused with certified mail labels. When we use these labels, this puts our documents under federal jurisdiction. They become federally protected. All right. This court case is federally protected. And so now when we take this into court, well, this is federal jurisdiction. Everything that we've been sending off is under federal jurisdiction. And we don't even play around in these lower courts. We're not playing around in the lower court. We're going into the Supreme Court. All right. Miss Nisi, first time here. Welcome, 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 and welcome. Sheldon, thank you for joining. Thanos, welcome. All right, so now, three witnesses. Why do we have three witnesses? We have, once again, three witnesses to make sure that when we take this into court on another level, there is no question about whether or not this process, this administrative process that we have done has been legitimate and legal. We got three witnesses, and we can show record and documentation that we have served these people and let them know what we are requesting and requiring. So there's so many things that go into writing the contract that I won't go into it here. I just want to make sure I go over the steps of the administrative process so that you can recognize how it's done and also recognize how it's been done against you all of these times. Whenever you're being sent any kind of bill or car note or whatever it is, then that is a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit. And so they're sending you a notice when you're late. That's a notice of fault. That's the next step. So the first step is getting your three witnesses on your documents, creating your documents. And then when you send that off, you're sending it off via United States Post Office, and you'll have your three witnesses, and it's under federal protection. The next document is called a notice of fault. All right. In your notice of fault, you're saying to them, well, and in this case, we're using Mr. Cooper as the company. Well, Mr. Cooper, we're not sure if you didn't receive our first document or there was some kind of mistake or you didn't read it properly or what have you, but we're going to give you another 10 days. We're going to give you another 10 days to respond. And if you don't respond within these 10 days, then you are in dishonor. You will be in default, and we're going to take you into public court, federal court. All right. And again, you have three witnesses. You're going to use another different registered mail label. You're going to use your same agent, which is somebody, your agent, by the way, is somebody, again, who doesn't live with you and they have a different address. And the purpose of that is such that you can make sure that there's no question about whether or not they responded within a certain amount of time. All right. You have someone as a middle person there to say, hey, they didn't respond within 10 days like we gave them. We told them by law, because we put it in our court, our contract, when we said to them, hey, you need to respond within 10 days or you're going to be at fault. All right. That agent is the person who they have to send their information to. And we tell them that in our contract. In our initial contract, we let them know, notice of agent. We have an agent. You need to send everything to that agent and not directly to me. Otherwise, you didn't serve me. And that means that you are in fault if you didn't serve me in the way that I told you to in the initial contract. All right. So when they don't respond to that initial contract and you've gotten the second document, which is a notice of fault, all right, then at that point, when you write that notice of fault, once again, you've got your registered mail label, you've got your agent, and you're going to have your notary. It could be a different notary. It could be the same notary, but you'll have your notary. Okay. If you don't have a notary, once again, you can have two witnesses in place of the notary. Now, you give them 10 days in that document to respond. If they do not respond to that document, all right, within the time, the 10 days, then they are in default. Default. That means that this is a done deal. We have already had court in the private. Now we're going into the public so that we can put it on public record, and then I can tell the sheriff to do what I need him to do so that I can get my money from you, or I can foreclose on your property. However, I've set it up. Who is they? I'm not sure they. What they did I say? No one taught me this. I'm not sure which question you're asking me. And Theron, thank you for joining. Hey there. All right. So now, and thank you all in YouTube. I haven't figured out how to be able to see everything yet. So now that we're recognizing, we've got the first three steps: the initial contract, the notice of fault, and then your notice of default. That's going to be your third document. Now, you remember I said you're going to wait 10 days. Why 10 days? When we're sending out contract in common law, the common law or rule of thumb is that you give them 10 days. 10 days means the 3 days for you to put it in the mail and it to get to them. Another 3 days giving them the opportunity to respond, and then another 3 days for it to get back in the mail to you. All right. Plus that one Sunday that's going to fall within that time frame. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. All right. So that's where the 10 days comes from. Two ands. Not sure. Slavs Manhunter. Authentic African Queen IC. Well, I'm not African, but authentic definitely. All right. I'm original people of the land. That's what I am. So now, when we're getting on this and recognizing and making sure we know we have to have those three witnesses, because what happens is once you get to the point where you are in public court, once you get to the point where you're in public court, only thing the judge can do is grant you a declaratory judgment. Once you're in court and you have done all of these processes properly, the only thing the judge can grant you is a declaratory judgment. That's it, because you have gone through this process. And remember, this is your court right here. Now, let's understand. Remember I told you how powerful the notary is? The notary is your judge of your court. All right? The notary is the judge of your court. So, okay. Once again, let me see. Two ands. Thank you, Two Ands. I got it. The pronunciation of your name. Welcome, Two Ands. All right. So now, what we're getting into is recognizing how powerful we are when we learn how to write or create documents, right? So now, once you get this into public court, and I told you, there are these lower courts, and they really don't serve me or anything that we're doing, because everything we like to do is handle things on the federal level, not on the state level. And when you're dealing on the federal level, First of all, let's understand some things. Your fine that you're charging someone, it has to be more than $75,000. All right. And in most cases, ours is over 200,000 and going into the millions. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing with being on a federal level, the parties have to be in two different states. And then the third thing is that there has to be some kind of crime committed, some kind of crime committed on under federal jurisdiction. All right. And so we determine what the crime is. And in this case, the crime would be fraud when we're talking about a mortgage. The crime would be failure to state or identify the contract and the terms of the contract. Misappropriation of funds, theft. There are all kind of crimes that go on in mortgage cases, all kinds. You can pick one. You got a whole list of them to pick from. So just dealing with the administrative process. This is when you're learning a higher set of laws. This is what the elite know. So one of the things we're doing this season in Whose Court Is It Anyway, we're going through the administrative process. We're not only just going through that, we're making sure that we know how to create our own courts. Because when you're talking about taking this into court, you are actually creating a court. The court belongs to you. You are establishing the laws. So that's the great thing about knowing how to create courts. All right. The great thing about knowing how to create courts, because now what you learn how to do is to establish that, hey, these code, statutes, and ordinances that are on this lower level, they don't apply in this court. And you have the authority to say that. You have the authority to say what type of court. I want y'all to take some time, take the opportunity to look up court of records, a court of records. Thank you, Davis Smith, for sharing. I should appreciate you. Lawandon, Halo. And thank you for following. Thank you for sharing. So those are the things that you're going to learn how to do, because when you start creating your own court, you can say, hey, these are the laws. Look up a court of records. Very powerful. We create our own courts of records, and then you get to determine what the laws are. You can write your own laws. But then you got to learn law. You got to learn how to stand. So I'm going to see if I have any other questions. If y'all have some questions before I get out of here, because I got to get ready for class. Whose court is it anyway? Now, by the way, if you're interested in being a part of the university, go to UNARepublic.com, UNARepublic.com, and then enroll. All right, or click on the link and send a message so that we can do a consultation with you, a free consultation about enrolling in the university, okay? And then if you are interested in there's a session that we just did. It was one of our continuing ed sessions that we just did. If you're interested in being a part or getting that video, how to keep your job from taking taxes from your check, go to UNAUniversity.com and click on that link. Scroll down and click on the link so that you can get the video for that, as well as all the gifts that came along with that session, okay? So now if I have any questions, y'all let me know, because this is our intermediate information where we're talking about how to create your court, how to sue somebody. That's intermediate, and it's a lot of information. So if you want to be a part of it, let us know. And we'll be glad to have you in the seminar, if not this season, next season. All right. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for your love. Now, don't forget, all right, my birthday is coming up, February 1st. That is on Wednesday. We want everybody to go ahead and like and share and follow on Facebook and YouTube, On YouTube, I want you all to subscribe and like and share. All right. Mercedes, Aquarius in the house. This is that Aquarius age. Thank you, Cody. Ja is Jared, February 15th. All right. That's Aquarius, I think all the way up to the 22nd. Definition of character. Thank Sheldon, I'm not sure what you mean, but okay. Does anybody have any questions on the administrative process? If you have been charged with a crime, how do you use the interest to set off the payments? All right, Mika, if you have been charged with a crime, I'm going to give you a term to look up, and this is free. Look up the term subrogation. 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 And thank you for the question. Subrogation. What subrogation means is that it requires the court to take the instruments and pay for the fines dealing with the case. But you need to know how to write. You got to know how to write. D-Moss says on the February 15th, I write Aquarian. And Sheldon is on the 13th, I think. Hold on for a second. Mika. So once again, Mika, what you have to know is how to write, because what we do is we always, when we do subrogation, we're always going to create a contract or a court, and we're going to send that into the court before the case happens. And in that court, we're going to define the terms of what the instruments are. We're going to define the terms, and we're stating, hey, we want this to be subrogated, and we want this to be done with the balance. So you have to be able to state that in writing, and you can do it verbally when you get to court. However, when you have it in writing, then it can't be refuted, because you have it in writing and then you put it on record. You're welcome, Mika. All right. Demos, February 15th. All right. All the Aquariuses in the house say, ow. Did I need everybody, all y'all Aquariuses in here? It looked like it was about 50 of them. I need every last one of you all to follow, because we want 4,000 by my birthday, by February 1st. So let's do it. Let's get with it. Sunset Beach in the house. Giles said, ow. All right. So go ahead and subscribe, like, and share, okay? I hope that I was able to bring some kind of understanding and remedy to you with respect to the administrative process. If you don't get anything else, please recognize that you have a lot of power when you learn to write contracts. When you learn to contract in law, you have a lot of power. And I'm excited because I get to wield a lot of this power to help people. All right. Oftentimes we get people wielding these powers to hurt people and to keep people enslaved. But I get the opportunity to use it to help people. And you do too. You can use it to help yourself. So what I encourage you to do, even if you don't join UNA University, I encourage you to look up these terms that I went over: administrative process, look up subrogation, because Mika asked a question. Look up some of these other terms that you heard me say, especially when we're talking about notice of fault, notice of default, public court, private court, administrative process. Look that up so you can start learning how to stand and gain your power, wield your power. All right. So Sunset Beach, I'm ready to get out of here. Carrie, thank you for joining. Says birthday on the 9th. You're on the 9th. All right. Congratulations. All my Aquarius is in the house. This is the age of Aquarius. We are bringing the know, K-N-O-W. All right. The knowledge age. So I want you all to please get on your knowledge so that we can all uplift ourselves. All right. I want y'all to know I love you. Y'all, please go ahead and follow so that we can get those 4,000 that we're wanting to reach by February 1st. That's my birthday. And all the Aquarius is in the house. Happy birthday. Happy birth month. All right. We're going to celebrate all throughout the year. because that's how we do it. But we're gonna do it big on February 1st and throughout. I changed my name. No, I didn't. My name's always been Diva Lyri. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? February 16th. All right. With damage with I tell you what, these names here. Thank you for liking and following. All right. So I guess all I had to do was say I'm born in February. I come on every time and I say I'm February 1st, and then everybody can follow. I like that too. I'll take it. I'll take it. Threads 3000. Halo. Threads 3000. I'm gonna get out of here because I got class. Join the UNA University, okay? We are in winter season 2023. It's not too late to join. Y'all got to catch up, though. It's not too late to join. Y'all got to catch up. Send a message in the inbox if you're wanting to join. You're going to learn how to protect yourself. You're going to learn how to put yourself under trust. You're going to learn how to protect yourself when people are coming at you with mortgage fraud. Thank you, Threads. Thank you for the rose. You're going to learn how to stand in law and then start learning how to use your estate to benefit you. All right. I want y'all to know I love you and I appreciate you. Let's build. Let's grow to the next level. All my Aquarius is in the house. Say, ah. All right. Let me get out of here. I got class. My students, I'm coming. I love you. I'm coming. I love you. Ah. Ah. All right, you got your estate EIN with them. Which them is excellent. All right, we're gonna build. I love y'all. I'm out. Diva. Happy birthday to y'all Aquariuses. YouTube, I love you. YouTube, I love you. All right, TikTok, I love you. I'm out. Diva. Bye. Yes, yes, yes. UNA.